Good morning, dear students. In the previous class, I have taught you about layered architecture. Do you remember? Do you remember how many layers were there in the layered architecture? There were 3 layers in layered architecture. Do you remember them? They are infrastructure layer, then platform layer. What about the third one? It is the application layer. So what are the 3 layers? They are infrastructure layer, platform layer as well as application layer. So in the last class, I have taught you in detail about this layered architecture. In today's class, I am going to teach you 3 more interesting topics, that is public cloud, private cloud as well as hybrid cloud. So I am going to teach you 3 things in today's session, that is public cloud, private cloud as well as hybrid cloud. So we are going to see the difference between these 3 services that is offered by cloud service providers. Okay, so let's get into this topic today. So the first one is public cloud. So if you see this public cloud, actually in the yesterday's class itself I have taught you like this public cloud, anyone can have an access. Any public can have an access, right? So the same thing. So if you see, it is built over an internet. So internet plays a major role. So without internet, any person cannot access the data from anywhere, right? So without internet, you cannot access the content from the public cloud. So for public cloud, if you see, the backbone is internet. So it is built over the internet and the customer can get its service by the scheme of paid service. Okay, so it is a paid service. So in public cloud, without internet, you cannot access the public cloud, and without paid service, you cannot access the content from the public. So it is not within the infrastructure, it is actually present outside. The content is given by the service provider. So best example, if you want to see, if you want to get an internet access at your home, whom you will approach? You will be approaching the service provider. For example, if you take BSNL office will be there. So you have to go to the BSNL office. You have to request them, sir, I need a BSNL internet connection. So you will be now putting an application over there and it will be processed, and the service provider, that is the BSNL, will be offering the internet service to you. Will they give it free? No, it is a paid service. So it has a monthly rent, right? Of 500 rupees or 699 or 799. It is a paid service. So you are going to choose one of the plans. Based on the plans, you are going to get the service, that is internet. So that is an example. That is just an example to showcase how the public cloud actually works. So there are service providers who offer various services in the cloud, and if you want to access those services, you have to pay and you have to use it. Okay, so this is how public cloud works. Okay, so you need internet, that is the first point. Then it will be like a paid service. If you pay, you can use it. Okay, then as I said, it is owned by service providers. There are various service providers who offer different services. For example, if you see GAP, that is Google App Engine. You have to remember this word as we are going to do an exercise with this Google App Engine in our lab. Okay, so GAP, it means Google App Engine. It is a public cloud. Then AWS, Amazon Web Service, it is also a public cloud. Then we have Microsoft, which has a cloud like Azure. Then IBM, it has a cloud like Blue Cloud. Then Salesforce.com, it has a cloud like Force.com. Okay, so all these 5 examples which I have mentioned here are examples of public cloud. So if you want to use the service of these 5, you need to pay and you have to get a subscription to use it. Okay, so this is an example for public cloud. So it shows flexibility. Why flexibility? If you need just for a single day, you are going to pay for a single day and you are going to use it. If you need only a small amount of resource, you are just going to pay for the small amount of resource which you are going to buy. If you need large, you can offer to buy a larger one. Okay, so there is a flexibility in price plan also when you take this public cloud. But the key point you have to remember is internet and of course you are getting the service from the service provider. That the concept is paid service, subscription model we are using in this public cloud. Now let's get into the second service, that is private cloud. So the major difference between the public cloud as well as the private cloud, if you see, here we are using internet, and in private cloud it will be done with the help of intranet. So within the network, within the campus, within Pondicherry, right? So here we were using internet, and in this private cloud it is within a organization or within a domain with the help of intranet. Okay, so this is the major difference. Then secondly, here we were having paid service. We were just paying and using the service. Here it is not like that. We are not going to sell any of our capacity. We are not selling any of the capacity. We are not selling the resource. Here it is not like that. In public cloud, the resources are sold. Even RAM or storage capacity you are purchasing and you are going to use it. But here it is not like that. Whatever you own, whatever infrastructure we have in our campus, that is being used for our own purpose. So that is said to be the private cloud. I hope you clearly understand the difference between the public cloud and the private. So here without internet you cannot access. Here it is accessed only with the help of intranet within the campus. Here with the help of internet you can access from anywhere. Okay, and here we used to use a paid service. Here we are not going to sell any capacity. Whatever we want, we are going to use it. Okay, and here the client is owned and managed. Okay, because the organization itself owns the infrastructure and they are going to manage. Okay, what amount of storage they need, how to access the storage, everything is done within the organization, within the domain. So that is private cloud. Okay, so here again, if you see, the same thing. So all the administration and all the other works will be done within the private cloud itself. Okay. Now, what is hybrid cloud? The third one. What is hybrid cloud? Already, now I have taught you what is public cloud. Then I taught you what is private. All over the world you can access. Here within the organization you can access. What is hybrid? So hybrid, if you see, it is the combination of both public as well as private cloud. Okay, so it is the combination of public as well as the private cloud. Both the clouds you are going to combine it together and you are going to use it. How this private cloud can become a hybrid cloud? Because private cloud is within an organization. How you are going to access and use the public cloud? If you see, actually private cloud, the content is actually within the domain, right? But if you require some resources from the public cloud, you can get those resources or support from the public cloud. Clear? So maybe an organization has only about, for example, 1 TB of storage space. Now you require more number of, around 500 TB of storage space is required for a single day alone. So what you can do? You can purchase that resource from the public cloud. Okay? So you are managing everything in the private. Suppose if you are in need of more resource, you can purchase those resources from the public cloud. So now there is an interface between the private cloud as well as the public cloud, and hence this you call it as hybrid cloud, because we are using both public and private together, and hence that cloud you call it as hybrid cloud. Clear? Right. So if you see one example for this hybrid cloud is research compute cloud. It is called as RC2, research compute cloud. So these terms are very important. Here I taught you GAP, that is Google App Engine, AWS, Amazon Web Services, cloud that is offered by Microsoft is Azure, IBM offers IBM Cloud, Salesforce offers Salesforce.com. Okay, so here we are seeing another one cloud, that is research compute cloud. Since there is 2C, you call it as RC2. Okay, so this is also developed by IBM. Here in public, IBM have developed Blue Cloud. This Blue Cloud is public cloud. But whereas if you see this research compute cloud RC2, it is also developed by IBM, but this is a hybrid cloud. Basically it is a private cloud, but it gets some services from the outside world. Hence you can include this as a hybrid cloud. How this RC2 has become, you can call it as hybrid cloud is, actually this research compute cloud RC2 is a private cloud that is owned by IBM, but it access or it has control over 8 data centers of IBM which is present in different location. So IBM has 8 data centers present in different location or different countries. This private cloud, that is their own organization cloud, RC2. Here with this they are connecting all these 8 research centers together. Data centers, 8 data centers, they are connecting it together with the private cloud, namely RC2. Hence you call this as a hybrid cloud. Okay, so I hope you are very much clear of today's class of these 3 topics. Public cloud, which is accessed with the help of internet, you are going to pay and you are going to use the service. Private cloud, it is accessed with the help of intranet, within the domain you are going to use it. Here you are not going to sell any capacity, any resource you are not going to sell. And the third one is the hybrid cloud, which is the combination of private as well as public cloud. Basically you will be using a private cloud, and if you need more resource, you are going to buy some resource from the public cloud and you are going to use it. Okay, and I have taught you some of the clouds also today. Some of the public clouds are GAP, Google App Engine, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft's Azure, then IBM's Blue Cloud, Salesforce, Salesforce.com. So these are some of the public clouds, and I have taught you about this hybrid cloud, that is RC2, Research, Compute and Cloud. RC2, which is an example for hybrid cloud. Okay, so that's all I have you for in today's class. In next class, I will be teaching you in detail about 3 services which I have already taught you in the unit 1. I hope you remember the 3 services: infrastructure as a service, then platform as a service, then software as a service, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Okay, so I will be teaching you in detail about these 3 services in the next class. Okay, thank you.